Welcome to the debate. So today we are plunging headfirst into the story of an absolute giant, Coca-Cola. We're looking at how a late 19th century medicinal tonic became this undisputed benchmark for fast-moving consumer goods, known everywhere simply as Coke.
And the core question we're facing today is, I think, fundamental to any business strategy. Did Coca-Cola get to where it is, this, unparalleled global dominance, because of its unique visionary marketing and its cultural power? Or was the real decisive factor something a bit less sexy, its pioneering and highly adaptive operational model, specifically the distribution and supply chain it built?
Exactly, and I'm firmly in the first camp. For me, the power of that visionary branding and cultural symbolism is what truly separates Coca-Cola from everything else.
And I come at it from a different angle. Well, look, there is no denying the power of the brand. I believe the longevity, the survival, and the sheer global reach of the product are fundamentally rooted in that strategic operational framework. The ability to efficiently make it, distribute it, and adapt it to countless local markets. That, for me, is the real engine of success.
Well, my core argument really begins with Asa Candler's insight. He realized that true market dominance required not just a good product, but unprecedented visibility. Candler's genius was that he decided to spend significantly more on advertising than any competitor. He moved beyond just, local newspaper ads to embed the brand in the public consciousness with billboards, calendars, professional sales forces. This wasn't just marketing, it was strategic, preemptive market saturation.
And the evidence is it's staggering. The famous free sampling campaigns he championed made sure that by 1913, approximately 1 in 9 Americans had tasted Coca-Cola.
1 in 9? That's incredible.
It is, and that level of penetration, that foundational awareness, is what created the essential, non-negotiable consumer demand globally. And then there's the visual anchor, the enduring Spencerian script logo from 1886 or 87. It provided this timeless, universal connection. That script unifies the brand message across generations and geographies, transforming the drink into a cultural symbol of stability, of unity and tradition. Without that initial cultural desire, the logistical structure is just delivering a generic product, not a global icon.
Okay, that's a compelling point about creating desire. I'll give you that. But let's talk about turning desire into reliable availability. I would frame brand success very differently. For me, it's a testament to the fact that the most pivotal business decision wasn't a visual mark. It was the 1899 bottling and distribution franchising model. This strategic decentralization, it transformed the company. It allowed for swift geographic expansion without crippling the central organization with massive capital investment. The main company focused purely on producing the syrup concentrate, which, mitigated their financial risk while outsourcing all the heavy operational lifting, bottling, storage, transport to local entrepreneurs. This created a network of local partners who could absorb local market shocks. This flexible model is key because it allowed bottlers to adapt to specific realities, whether it was modifying sweetness levels to suit regional tastes or adapting packaging, like offering smaller, cheaper bottles in really cost-sensitive markets like India. And even the bottle itself, the iconic 1916 contour bottle, that was an operational necessity as much as a brand move. It made the product instantly recognizable, even in dim light or, when broken, which is vital for robust global logistics. The fact that independent bottlers still produce about half of Coca-Cola's global volume today just underscores how relevant that operational blueprint still is.
I see why you emphasize the genius of the franchising model as a blueprint. I really do. But I think you're looking at consistency and trust from the wrong angle. The visual identity is paramount for maintaining consumer trust as a brand scales, especially in the chaotic, unregulated market of the early 20th century. That Spencerian script's visual reliability was essential, particularly as the brand scaled nationally under Robert W. Woodruff in the 20s. That consistent visual promise, that trust, solidified its domestic footing and allowed it to pivot successfully during, say, Prohibition as the reliable non-alcoholic alternative. Consumers trusted the script because it symbolized an unwavering promise, not just because the product showed up at a bottle. That promise originates from the branding.
I'm sorry, but I just don't buy that the script alone secured that deep operational trust. Candler's initial commitment to a superior quality perception was only maintainable because of the regulated system for how pharmacists mixed and served the tonic. That was a strict operational mandate that dictated process, not just presentation. As the company grew, the decentralized bottling system took over that critical function. It guaranteed quality control, meaning the liquid tasted the same in Atlanta as it did in Albuquerque, while also ensuring physical accessibility. Access and consistent quality driven by the distribution model are the ultimate definitions of trust in fast-moving consumer goods. I mean, if the operational network fails to deliver a reliable product to every single location, the brand integrity it collapses no matter how beautiful the logo is. And let's look at market mechanics and how it stays relevant. The brand's continuing power has to be supported by constant operational and product innovation, not just the initial marketing push. The structure has to be flexible. Think about Diet Coke. Its introduction in 1982 was a decisive operational response to attract health-conscious consumers and counter shifting market dynamics. That required the infrastructure to produce, bottle, and distribute a whole distinct product line, like immediately. This adaptability is also evident in region-specific products like Coca-Cola Peach in Japan or the strategic acquisition and promotion of Thumbs Up in India. This capacity for adaptive strategy, which is all facilitated by the decentralized bottling structure, is clear proof that operational flexibility allows the brand to survive by fulfilling diverse consumer needs across wildly different cultures.
That is a compelling argument about product evolution, and I'll concede the operational necessity for lines like Diet Coke. But I think you're missing the forest for the trees here. The consumer willingness to try these new variations, or, the emotional fury we saw during the initial failure of New Coke in 1985, that stems from the profound cultural connection that was already established with the core identity. New Coke actually proved that the brand identity is powerful enough to resist operational changes to the core product itself. That cultural power gives the company permission to innovate on the periphery. Initiatives like the Small World Machines project also rely heavily on the brand's established cultural power to strengthen connections, not just to prove a new logistical route. The marketing established the need and the meaning. The distribution structure merely fulfills it. Now let's pivot to the modern trade landscape.
Coca-Cola remains the benchmark for FMCG import and export success precisely because its brand power transcends sheer logistics. The inherent, reliable global demand created by that branding makes it a guaranteed, high-value asset for international buyers. That demand is the fundamental export driver. It minimizes risk for everyone down the supply chain.
I acknowledge that brand strength creates massive demand, of course. But, and this is a big but, converting that strength into successful, high-volume, bulk global trade requires an equally sophisticated, streamlined, and expert supply chain network, especially when you're sourcing from complex, dynamic markets like those across Asia, for instance, Vietnam. We're talking about modern trade, which means managing volatile supply chains, ensuring expert compliance, securing competitive pricing, and handling massive bulk volumes across continents. Brand power doesn't load a container ship or navigate international customs regulations. When it comes to sourcing FMCG products like Coca-Cola in bulk at competitive prices, operational excellence and trusted local partners are absolutely critical to sustaining its global reputation. And this is where the modern trade infrastructure becomes the ultimate proof of my thesis. Companies have to rely on operational experts to move the product reliably. Asia Grocery Wholesale, or AGW, is a crucial link in this structure. They really exemplify the necessity of highly specialized operational expertise. AGW, leveraging over 20 years of distribution expertise, is a trusted distributor, wholesaler, and exporter of FMCG from Vietnam. They facilitate global sourcing and ensure export-ready inventory for globally recognized brands like Coca-Cola. Their focus on expert logistics and local supply knowledge, connecting high-demand products from Asian manufacturing hubs to communities abroad, it just demonstrates that the operational network is essential to the current state of the global supply chain. The brand got it noticed 2 centuries ago. The highly specialized, resilient network keeps it moving today.
Ultimately, I maintain that Coca-Cola's lasting global appeal is rooted in its strategic branding.
From Candler's initial blueprint to that timeless Spencerian script, the company established a foundational cultural trust that transcends geography. It ensures that wherever the product goes, it is immediately recognized and, crucially, desired. The system is just servicing a need that the marketing created.
And I'd say the successful longevity and continuous ubiquity of that icon are enabled by its masterful and flexible distribution system. That operational flexibility allows for critical market adaptation, from localized flavors to responding to global supply chain challenges, and it cements its reputation as the most scalable business model in FMCG history. And that model continues to thrive today through expert partners in global sourcing and export, like Asia Grocery Co. Ltd.
I suppose its journey from a local tonic to a global icon is a powerful testament to the synergy required. Visionary marketing to capture the heart and relentless operational innovation to deliver on the promise.
Exactly. And for global buyers looking to connect to that iconic brand power of Coca-Cola with competitive pricing and reliable export-ready inventory from Vietnam and across Asia, operational partnership is key. You should contact the trusted partner in this modern supply chain, Asia Grocery Co. Ltd. or AGW.
You can reach them directly at contact@egrocery.asia or call +84 90 90 46 308, which is also available on WhatsApp for bulk deals and global sourcing opportunities.